Good afternoon, everybody. What I'm going to talk about today is self-advocacy. So for those that are like, what does that even mean? To advocate for yourself means to be able to be assertive in expressing your needs, your wants, your desires, and your concerns in a way that is also not going to violate the rights and the needs of other people. Okay. There are a few misconceptions or a few myths when it comes to self-advocacy, and I just want to go through some. There are plenty, but I'm going to focus on 4. The first one is that in order to advocate for yourself, it means you have to be rude, mean, or invalidating to someone else. And that is not true. When you are advocating for yourself, you are using assertive language, which means that you are expressing your needs and your thoughts in a way that shows that you know those things are important. So that sometimes means being persistent. Sometimes it means restating something in a different way and making sure that you are clarifying yourself. So that's one misconception. Some people might think that you are being mean if you are advocating for yourself, because sometimes people are not used to that. I'm going to take that a step farther. So for my cisgender women, and to remind you, cisgender means that your gender identity and your assigned sex at birth match. So for my cisgender women, well, in the United States of America, women are socialized to be quiet and to not speak up. So when you have a cisgender woman that is saying something and advocating for herself, a lot of times she's called names and she's called rude or aggressive. Holding on to the fact that to advocate for yourself is to be assertive, to express your needs without violating the needs of others. Now, if other people take that and put their own meaning on it, that's on them. That's their work. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to this next one, which is this idea that because you are advocating for yourself, that you're going to get what you want. Not all the time. So for people that are in the workforce, you might have requested a raise and have advocated for yourself in that regard. For people that are looking for volunteer opportunities, you might have advocated for yourself for a particular volunteer opportunity and didn't get it. Advocating for yourself does not mean that you are always going to get what you want. You won't. That's life. You win some and you lose some. However, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So sometimes being able to just put it out there and tell somebody what you are thinking and wanting, well, you might actually get at least something closer to what you were looking for versus not saying anything at all. My dad used to say all the time, closed mouths don't get fed. So it's better to go ahead and ask for what you want and provide the merit. So make sure that you're backing it up with evidence. That makes the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to another misconception, which is that it is selfish to think of yourself. Well, if you've seen some of my videos, you might have heard me say you cannot pour from an empty cup. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes it does take being quote unquote selfish, because what does selfish mean? You're prioritizing your own needs. For those who have been on a plane, right, what do the instructional videos say? Make sure you put on your own mask first before you try to help someone else. It's that same type of idea. You need to make sure that you are in a space to take care of yourself, first and foremost. And if that is selfish, I be that, right? It is what it is. So that's going to take me to my last one, right? Which is this idea that to advocate for yourself is to be without fear. False. If anyone is familiar with this movie, House Arrest, I think it came out late 80s, early 90s. There's a quote that says, feel the fear and go for it. That is something that I often will repeat to myself even now, because to be courageous means that you have to have fear and move forward anyway. So you will be scared sometimes when you're advocating for yourself, and that's okay. The question is, will you do it? So those are just a few misconceptions regarding self-advocacy. It is very important to be able to speak up. Use your voice. Your voice is one of the most precious things that you have. This is the time to use it. Remembering to use it wisely and to use your voice in a way that is not violating the rights of others. So I hope that this was helpful. Remember, you can say anything to anyone. Just be careful how you say it. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. But thank you for spending some time with me today. Make sure you advocate for yourself, and always peace and love.